Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Cedric, and it's really a pleasure for me to be your host today. I'm here to discuss about the new updates we have in the Avonni 4.3 version we are going to release this week. And I'm going to show you today all the new features we are shipping. So as a reminder, this event is live, but it's also being recorded, and the recording will be available afterward on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So what do we have on the agenda today? First, I will do a brief introduction about the Avonni components, the essence, the really why we created the Avonni components and how it can be beneficial for your Salesforce project. And then I will talk about the new features we have regarding the Avonni components for Salesforce flows, and also a glimpse of the new components we have for Experience Cloud site. If you have any question, feel free to post your question on the comment section you can find on LinkedIn and also on YouTube, and I will be extremely happy to answer your question. And finally, I will do some closing remarks and next step about this new release. So a little bit of background. At Avonni, our mission is simple. We really want to change how Salesforce admins and technical architects can build custom solutions on Salesforce. We want to bridge the gap between the vision and the reality without always relying on custom code. And this is where Avonni steps in, because we offer a managed package of over 60 plus pre-built component or building blocks that can make you build what seems complex straightforward. And today, I'm really excited to show you the new features and to really talk with you regarding the most significant new features we are going to release in this new version, the Avonni 4.3, because we really worked hard to really ensure this enhancement are powerful, intuitive, and user-friendly. So once again, I will be focusing on two main areas: updates for Flow Builder and also updates for Experience Cloud Builder. So let's get started and discover how this new version can really change how you build custom solution on Salesforce with no code. The first update I'm going to talk about is the Avonni Matrix component. As you know, the Avonni Matrix, it's really a great component to display important metrics or information, to highlight metrics or information you have on Salesforce. And now with this new version, we make it even more easier to connect your Salesforce data with the metric component, because we integrated a query data source to let you perform any calculation from your Salesforce data. And that's really giving you the ability to customize and set up the Avonni metric component way more easily. Let me show you a demo of that. So here I am on an example on my org. This is only one screen flow. I just built this screen flow as an opportunity pipeline board to display different information here. And as you can see at the top, I have three Avonni Matrix components. Now, as you can see, those metrics are not accurate. It's just dummy data I added manually, but I'd like to show you how you can really connect the metric with your Salesforce data using Salesforce aggregate function. So let's jump into the flow, the screen flow I have right there. So that's my screen flow. Let's open the screen element, and let's select the first Avonni metric. And I will open the component builder. So the metric I created here, it's really to display the amount of all the opportunities I have open on my pipeline. And as you can see, the value is typed manually, but with this new release, the Avonni 4.3, you have a query mode. So when you switch to query, you're able to create your query from there. For example, you need to connect or to link that to an object, let's say opportunity object, and I want to select the amount field and use the aggregate function. So you will find average, count, count distinct, maximum, minimum, sum. Here I like, because it's the open pipeline on my opportunity pipeline, so I will select sum, and I will specify filters. So you can also specify filters and add condition. For example, I want to exclude stage value that are equal to close lost and close won. So we'll select stage in, select, for example, close won and close lost, not in. Perfect. As you can see, the metric is updated automatically, displaying the real value I have on my Salesforce regarding all the opportunities I have on my pipeline. If you want and if you need, you can add more condition on that filter. Now let's take the second Avonni metric I have. Open the component builder, and here I like to display the number of opportunities created last week. So I will do exactly the same process. Use the query function, select the opportunity object, and select the type, for example, the opportunity ID, to count the number. So here I'm selecting count, to count the number of opportunity created, but right now it's displaying all the opportunities I have created. Now I need to set a filter where close date, I need last week, equal to, I can enter the value, but it's not dynamic. I can enter the value manually by using the value from the calendar. But here, if I'm clicking on this icon, I can select date literal. And from there, you have specific value you'd like to filter. So let's say here it's last week. But if you want, you have last days, fiscal quarters, fiscal years. So it's quite powerful, and that's a new features as well we are shipping with this release regarding date literals for the Avonni metric. Save, and now I can see I created one opportunity last week. Can save that. And the last Avonni metric, I'd like to highlight, open component builder, open opportunities amount closed last quarter. So I will do exactly the same process, use the query function on the opportunity object, amount, sum, and then filter by close date and equal date literals last quarter, just above, right there. Save. You get automatically the value updated. Done. And you can save your flow. So that's really how you can use the Avonni metric component as a quick recap regarding the data source. Now it's more easier to connect the Avonni metric with the data you have on Salesforce using aggregate function on this component. Next new feature, I'm talking about side panel filters. And that's extremely powerful because now you have the ability to display filters on the Avonni data table and also on the Avonni list using a side panel. So all the information will be on the same component, and users will be able to use the filters they can find on the left or right side to fine-tune the data they want to display on the component. The best way is really to show you that live with a demo. So right there, what I'm talking about regarding the Avonni data table, and it's also true for the Avonni list, it's the ability to have and to configure a side panel filters. So side panel, this is this button you can find right there. When you click on this button, you will automatically get side panel filters. So instead of having access filters at the top or as a popover, now filters are on the side panel, on the left or on the right, and that's easy to fine-tune data you'd like to display by specifying the stage name, and as you can see, the data table is automatically refreshed. You can also fine-tune by the amount of the opportunity right there, account name, and you also have the ability to specify the filters you'd like to display. If needed, you can reset the filters, and then you get access to all the information on the data table. So really regarding the user experience with the side panel, it's really a game changing for me, because now I know that users can really change and fine tune the information they'd like to display on the data table with just a few clicks without having to use a popover or filters at the top. Now let me show you on the component builder how to configure the side panel. So let's open the screen element, and let's take the Avonni data table right there. So it's loading the component builder. Okay. That's the preview of my data table, connecting with the opportunity object. So first thing you need to notice, it's on filter, on the filter option, we added type, and now you can switch from horizontal filter, when you can have filters right there at the top, which is good, but if you really want to focus on the user experience, I prefer the side panel. You also have popover, which is this button, and the popover for the filters. And now that's new, the panel. So you can select panel to get access to the panel right there. And when you select panel, you also have the ability to fine-tune the settings for the side panel. So that's the new side panel attributes right there. And from there, you can position if you want to display the side panel on the left or on the right. If you want to make it is closed or always open. If you want to hide or show this toggle button. So you can make it always open without the ability to hide the panel. To make sure to have access to the filter panel, you need to ensure that on the data mapping for the Avonni data table, and that's true also for the Avonni list, make sure to have at least one filterable column. If you don't have any filterable column, you won't be able to see and to display the side panel. So as a reminder, you can make a column filterable by selecting a column right there and select filterable attribute. Otherwise, you can also, for all column, make all column filterable. And also directly from the data table preview, you can also make the data, you can also change the settings from there to make this filterable. So that's really how it works regarding the side panel feature. And I mean, my recommendation would be really to live test the side panel and to improve the user experience you can have using the Avonni data table. Next new feature, it's really regarding the query data source. We now added a subquery capability, meaning that you're now able to create subqueries directly on the query data source to really target specific information based on condition you can determine for your subquery. So it's useful if you're using an in operator, and then you can create semi-join queries to fine-tune information you'd like to display using the query data source from some data component we provide with this package. The best way is to show you a demo. So I created another flow for the subquery, and I will open the component builder regarding the Avonni data table. And right now it's displaying all the accounts, which is fine, but I really want to fine-tune this and only display accounts that have at least one contact. And that's possible to achieve that now with the new subquery feature we are shipping with this release. So if we go here on data source, when you select add condition, then now you can select, okay, condition, account ID, in, And now that's new, you have submit join. So you can check submit join and then select the object, for example, contact, and then add a field, because I only want to have account that have on at least one contact on that. If needed, you can add condition to this submit join query, save that, and now I should be able, not a list of all the accounts, but only accounts that have at least one contact. We just reload the page. So now that's displaying all the accounts with at least one related contact. So if I'm clicking on an account, I should see that there is like 5 contacts right there. So that's perfect. 1 contact, perfect. So now with the subquery, we added directly on data components. That's really more easier to fine-tune data you'd like to display by creating subqueries. And you can find a lot of possible use case for that. It was only one example regarding displaying account that have at least one contact, but you can imagine the possibilities here if you want to fine-tune and display, for example, account that have at least one opportunity that is over $5 million, for example. That's possible to do it using subquery. The next new feature now, it's regarding the Avonni Calendar. Now the Avonni Calendar have an integrated query mode. You can really use the Avonni Calendar, the query mode using the Avonni Calendar, and use that to make the calendar reactive, and use also refresh query on finish interaction. The best way, once again, is to do a live demo, and I will do a live demo directly with you. Right there. So I have a calendar view. Right now, it's displaying the calendar of all the events that are related to opportunities. But here, on this example, I'm not using the query yet. I'm still using the variable, which is fine, but the query will give me more capabilities regarding the calendar. For example, using the query, I will be able to, and that's what I need to do, I want to do, I will be able to select an opportunity and only display related event that are attached to this opportunity, the opportunity I selected. That's now possible to achieve that using the query on the calendar. Let me show you how it works. Let's open the Avonni Calendar right there. And when you go on the calendar, you will find here the new query data source. So let's say I want to query the event object. For the title, let's say subject. Based on the event object, resource name, you need to specify a resource. So if, for example, I will select assign to for the resource, and once you select a resource, you have more resource information you can complete. So for the label, let's select calendar name, and now I need to do start date time and end date time. Perfect. One piece is missing here because I'm using the query, but I like to make it reactive. I like to make the component, the calendar component, that is communicating with the list component I have on the left side on my example, to be able to select an opportunity and see related event to that opportunity. So I will add, and I already created a formula field to map that to a dynamic value regarding calendar filter. So now when I click save, I will save the flow. Let's refresh the page. And now when I'm switching to calendar, let's select an opportunity. As you can see, it's reactive. it will only display related event based on the opportunity I selecting on the Avonni list, which is extremely powerful because you still get one component and you can make the calendar reactive based on the action users take on the other component. And you can switch from agenda view to see related information to the calendar view and also the timeline view. If there is no event, you will see that this message, no event for selected date. Let me get back to the flow once again. I just want to show you the formula I set up for the reactive filters. What I did is I just select the what ID field equal to the on the Avonni list, the click item name. So basically it will dynamically feed the information for what ID and select the ID of the click item on the list. And where it's even powerful, let's get back to the calendar once again, it's regarding the interactions. So for example, I have set up an interaction on this new event button. So basically this new event button is doing an, right now a navigate, but let's remove that and remove the toolbar because it's really not on the event, but on the toolbar because it's a header action. So here I will select the new event button, open flow dialog. I have already created a flow. You can pass input variable if needed, for example, right there. And then you can specify on finish actions. So let's say refresh query and on finish add item, show toast, and let's say event created. Thank you. Right there. Perfect. I just need, I think, to, no, that's not what I need. Save. So now the calendar will automatically refresh when I pressing the new event button to create a new event based on another flow I created. Open a flow dialog. Calendar view, new event, demo Avonni 3 related to this one. Select the time. Let's say 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Save. Event created, thank you. So now if I'm selecting this, I see the event I just created, demo Avonni 4.3 from 10 to 11 p.m. a.m. Sorry. So as you can see, the calendar is automatically refreshed with the open flow dialog using this flow to book a meeting, which is extremely, again, for the user experience, it's extremely useful. Let me know if you have any questions so far. I think I already have some questions regarding, can you pull in contact data table, contact data into the table for subqueries? Yes, you can. However, you will not be able to expand. Let's say you have on the data table account information and you'd like to expand for the account related contact. You will be able to do that only on one level, not multiple level on the data table. There is no tree yet on the data table. Let me know if you have any other question regarding this new release of the Avonni components. Otherwise, I will talk a little bit about the updates for Experience Cloud components. So with this new release, that's not live yet, and it will be available by the end of this week, you will also have access to new components for Experience Cloud site. We are bringing the Avonni Avatar Group, Avonni Matrix, Avonni Calendar, as you can see on the screenshot, Avonni button menu, Avonni Kanban, and an update to the Avonni Gallery as native Experience Cloud component, part of the Avonni Components Managed package. So that's really great if you want to enhance your Experience Cloud site with pre-built component without having to custom code what you need. I will do another demo once it's live for those components after TDX, but be sure to follow up us on our page to get the latest update. That's pretty much what I like to display today on this new version update. So the Avonni 4.3, it will be available later this week on the App Exchange by the end of this week. But if you'd like to get a sneak peek and get access now to this new version, just send me a comment on the section or reach me directly on LinkedIn and I will be able to send you the link. Otherwise, as I said, it will be available on the App Exchange by the end of this week. So you will be able to enjoy all the new features we're shipping with this new release. Once again, let me know if you have any specific question regarding what I just showed you today regarding new features. As a quick recap, we talk about new features regarding the Avonni components, like updates for Flow Builder, Avonni Matrix, which now supports the query data source, where you can really display Salesforce data as a metric, and everything is easily configurable. We also deliver side panel filters for the Avonni Data Table and the Avonni List. You now have subquery capabilities when you're using the query data source. Regarding the Avonni Calendar, we integrated now the query data source, which allows you to get access to the refresh query on finish and also being able to bring reactivity to the Avonni calendar. I haven't had the chance to discuss about the Avonni timeline because on the Avonni timeline, we added an end date and day grouping on the horizontal view, end date for the horizontal view as well. So I will be able to communicate on this once the release is out with the release note. That's pretty much for what I'd like to cover today with this new release, the Avonni Components 4.3. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section below, and I will be extremely happy to answer all your questions. Otherwise, feel free to stay in touch and keep me posted about how you're using the Avonni components, and we will communicate with you once the Avonni 4.3 version is live, which is going to happen by the end of this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.